Hello there, and welcome to Monday Night Therapy. I'm Minnie, and with me is my co host, Fred, and his co host, Willie.
Hey, everybody.
He's the cutest co host, not you, Fred, Willie.
And I thought I was the eye candy of the show. Guess not.
I love it. I wish we had more dogs on this show. Where's Tater?
He's sleeping out there on the couch with Maureen. She's watching
Mm.
TV. He's attached to the hip. He's hers and Willie's mine. So, yeah.
Oh, I see. His and hers.
hmm
Well, Fred, they started in early, these people here in chat. They are relentless. I don't know. I was not expecting this from you guys tonight. We just won. We beat UCLA, and already we get these kind of comments, like from Justin, who says, "So, first subject of the day, where will Dylan be playing next year?" As if there's a question.
I'm surprised you started with this. I thought you'd try and just ignore it all till the very end and then be like, oh, we're out of time. And then that's how you should have done that.
I was going to.
I probably wouldn't have
That
let you
was a
get away
good
with it, but you
That would
could
have
have
been
tried.
a good way to go, yes. And then Vince Watson says, "Hey, Minnie, has Minnie begun stalking TJ or does he run too much?" Oh my gosh, really? I
That's
can't
true. It'd be
believe
harder to catch TJ than Dylan.
ah, that's just not right. Dana Williams, he's here from Facebook. He says he had an epic time at the UCLA game, may have been overserved. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh, what did you drink? Um, yeah, I was
Did
at
they
the
serve
UCLA
alcohol
game.
at the stadium at the Rose Bowl?
Oh, yes. Oh,
Oh,
yes. They serve all I mean, everything comes in cans, you know? I don't think they have any cocktails, but, they serve wine in these little clear bottles.
oh,
So I had 2 little glasses of wine, clearance
wow.
wine,
I was gonna say,
practically.
I didn't know Walgreens had a Rose Bowl endorsement. That's pretty slick.
Literally, it
Man,
is, it's not a wine that I normally would drink, but hey, when in the Rose Bowl, you just have to, go along with it.
how much did it cost? Like $15 for that tiny little bottle?
I don't know, 10, maybe 10 or 15. Um, but no, they serve those big, I think they're called 40s. Is that what they're called? The big cans
Or
of
just like a tall boy, just like a
yeah,
tall yeah.
yeah. So they served those otherwise. So if you wanted a drink, you had to basically carry around this big old drink. Yeah. I think those were $30.
Wow.
I know. I
That's
know.
not I mean, it's tall beer like that, like a College World Series, I think has been 9 to $12, but again, that's Omaha prices versus California prices, so that wouldn't surprise me if you're paying that much for a beer out there.
You know what? It was not that bad. They had okay, so the parking, I mean, you can park if you have, I guess, season tickets. You could park on their grass, which is what their parking lot is. Okay.
Oh,
Otherwise, you have to park like a mile away. And they have their parking's not very expensive. I think I paid like $12. And so you park there, and then they have a free shuttle that takes you to and from the stadium.
oh,
Yeah.
that's not bad.
It's not bad, but it wasn't fun on the way out because it got really cold and I wasn't very happy
Mm.
about that. Again, cold. Um,
What was it, 55 degrees?
it was cold. I don't even know. But the fog started rolling in. That's how cold it was. You know how it
Oh,
gets cold when you're on the coast? So, I don't know. I'm just used to Phoenix weather, 90-degree weather. That's all I know how to pack for.
I think it was about 25 degrees out on our deck watching it because my antenna inside doesn't get reception, so I set up a TV on the deck and had some chili and some red wine, and yeah, enjoyed the game. It was cool.
That is nice. that sounds kind of almost romantic. You and Willie and Tater and
No,
Maureen.
no, they were inside. Everybody
Oh,
was inside. It was too cold for everybody but me. I was the only idiot out there in a hoodie and Under Armour, so
oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
no, it
We
was great.
won. That's the
Yes,
biggest news of the whole weekend, 28-21, you guys. Yes.
we'll take it. It was I thought it could have been even worse, and we can talk about it at some point, but, like, sometimes it feels like we kinda get a lead and then we just sit around and don't do anything with it, and it's like, at some point, I'd like to, like, pile it on another team, but a win's a win, at this stage in the season, we just gotta keep, getting them done and get a better record so we get a nice bowl game.
Mhm. Yes. Well, we did break a couple of records at this game. One of them being we actually scored in the 3rd quarter.
I know.
That
Didn't know what to think. Yeah, I felt dirty at some point because usually it's our worst quarter almost every game except for the, cupcake team. So yeah, so we'll take that one. Yeah, definitely. And what was the other record?
um no, I know. I'm cautiously saying this, but there were no sacks. TJ Lateef didn't take any sacks. I mean, which is huge for us, right?
It is. No interceptions,
No interceptions, no sacks.
only 2 incompletions.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's like, you know, generational talent numbers for a quarterback.
Hey, what do you know? I don't know that much about TJ Lateef despite all these rumors going around that I might be stalking him. Um, I know he's from Compton, which was shocking. I was like, Compton, really? That's the hood, right? In LA?
Yeah, and the announcer said that he didn't even really talk about coming back to California or anything. They just granted the announcers are pretty awful. Anybody that watched the game, I don't know if they were drunk or high or both. They were pretty brutal, but yeah, they said he didn't even talk about coming home. They asked him, and he's just like, just playing a game. It's pretty good. It's dialed in. Justin Rogge's on fire tonight.
What did he say? Justin, what are
You
you
heard that
saying of it?
Dylan broke his record of hot dogs eaten at the hospital. Oh, in an hour. And then earlier he said if you wanted to catch Dylan, all you had to do is leave a trail of burritos, and he would eventually, you know, find you.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay. I I don't think you kick a guy when he's down, okay? Can we
No,
just
not at
agree
all.
to leave Dylan alone?
I'm fine with leaving him alone, but I can't control the chat. And we
I
know they're the
know.
third member of the show, so God
Yeah.
knows what's going to happen there.
Well, okay. Let's talk about some things that went well. Play calling. Obviously, the prep work from last week being the bye week, they really utilized that because boy, was everybody on board. I mean, we only had what, one penalty in the first half and then one more in the second half.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, that 15-yard penalty really sucked. But you know, UCLA had 4 penalties in
Yeah,
comparison.
I mean, and they were, I don't know. I guess I don't understand the hype about them. They said that the new Heisel kid just unchanged their offense and all that. And all he did is he let the running quarterback run. So it's not like he's exactly Bill Walsh out there. The thing that not a lot of people talked about, but with all the other Dylan talk and TJ and all that, but to me, the team looked like they did what Rule said they had to do. Because he
Uh-huh.
said in one of his press conferences, he goes, Dylan out, we don't need to do this much each guy. He said,
Right.
each guy just needs to do this much, build each other up, play within the system and the game plan, and they did. Nobody played hero football trying to score 14 points on one play. Nobody missed assignment. They missed tackles on that quarterback, but the guy was good. That
Mhm.
Nico, hate to say it, he was fast and quick, but
Oh. I
They
know.
they executed the game plan. They did exactly what Rule said they needed to do. It was refreshing. So,
Yes.
kudos to them.
Yeah, and they utilized Emmett Johnson. I mean, I suppose that's the biggest thing, you know, other than having, TJ Lateef was good on all counts, but Emmett Johnson running, just being so predictable for us, like we could count on him. Predictable. That's what I mean. Just that I think that's the difference right there.
That was the difference, and, we'll talk about it as we go, but the threat of a quarterback who could actually run a little bit helps a ton because
Right.
his first play is a zone read. After that, the defensive backs and the linebackers have to honor it just a little bit, just to look in the backfield, just to see what's going to happen. So that gets guys open that weren't getting open.
Mhm.
Dane Key,
Dane Key. Yeah.
Barney,
Yeah.
they were all over the place. They were catching passes. And we ran more of what I'd said it a few weeks ago. And a lot of people have said it in the chat and on all the other shows. We didn't really feel like we'd seen Holgerson's offense. It seemed like a lot more of it last on Saturday. He ran split backs. We didn't do great with them, but that was a thing that he used to do a lot of. You could run a zone read out of that. You could
Mhm.
run a zone read and a shovel pass up the middle. You could do a lot of stuff and play action off of it. Carricker had a whole thing about those
Mm,
type of plays. So it's like that was kind of the difference. They just played and they played fast and crisp, and our offense
oh,
has
for
just
sure.
kind of been plodding lately. So it's like it was, and I know UCLA is not the 85 Bears. I get that. They're not the greatest team ever assembled, but
Yeah.
we made it look I was laughing at how easy some of the plays looked. It was just we were just, the wheel route to Emmett and then two guys blocking for him. I mean, that's old timey shit. That was
Mm.
awesome.
Yep. 56 yards. That was amazing.
Mhm.
Um, what I liked to see was so many defensive guys getting involved. It seemed like these guys were coming out of the woodworks. I didn't even know that Dylan Rogers was traveling with the team.
Yeah. Yeah, you had to because McCulloch was hurt. And yeah, I saw that. And he's a big guy. Like, I
It
saw this
is.
giant dude, and I was like, who the hell's that? And he was sometimes not making plays, but he was getting in the middle of things. And Van Poppel seemed like he held his ground a little bit more in the middle, and where he had a couple of plays. And at first, it was like I had a lot of the same frustration a lot of people might. It was like, oh, the defense, we're giving up plays, we give up whatever. But it was like, I could give that quarterback his due. He couldn't pass worth a shit, but he could run, and he was quick.
Quarterback.
Like,
Yeah.
he was juking people left and right and strong for his size. He looked skinny, but he was tough to bring down.
He's a tall, muscled guy. Like you're right, he does look thin, but he's the entire offense.
Yeah.
Whatever they're paying him, it's worth every penny because without
I
him,
think
I don't see them having very much of an offense.
no, I think he actually ended up taking a pay cut going there because he wanted even more, and Tennessee said no. And
Right.
he took a bit of a dip going there, but maybe he can earn his way back up. But he's got he's still young-ish, and his passing was like randomly just way off, and that was the difference. We should have kicked their ass. I was kind of just that's the only disappointment I had. I would have liked to have rolled them because it's like they're not that good
Yeah.
to just kind of beat them by 7. We gave up that long drive after Archie's awesome punt. It's just like stuff like that. I'd still like to see this iron out a little bit, but a win's a win.
Yeah, letting them score in the 4th quarter like we did and
Mhm.
not scoring in return, that hurts us. We can't keep doing that. The thing is that, we can say all these positive things, and they are great positives. I'm so happy. But, we have to keep in mind that UCLA was ranked 124th in defense. So it's not like, they're the strongest defense that we've seen. Luckily, we were able to kind of work out all of our kinks in the bye week and play a team like that, where it really made our offensive line shine. I was so
Yeah.
proud of them.
Well, and again, it was the Rule said beforehand, he goes, "Oh, we're going to run the same offense," which we didn't. He's going to say that he's not going to tell UCLA what we're going to do, but
Mhm.
it was obvious it was different. The passes were quicker. They weren't doing a lot of those 5-step drops where Dylan was going to have time to get killed by the tackles because the tackles get wiped out. Like those plays, so many of those. We weren't putting him in those spots. It was like 1-2-3 throw or 1-2 run. Like that was it, and it allowed him to play faster with an edge and the team to play faster, and it protected the tackles. And then we ran mostly like trap stuff in the interior, which is the good part of the line, and we had success with it. And we got him out in space on some bubble screens and different things like that. I mean, that's Holgerson. That's not whatever this thing that we've seen for several weeks now. That really wasn't him, at least in my estimation.
Hmm. Well, I have a question for you. After last week, some of the things that we talked about TJ having to do going forward was that ball security and making quick decisions. I give him an A plus on both counts. I feel like he did okay, maybe A, but he did really great at quick decisions and ball security.
Hmm.
What would you say his grade was for the UCLA game?
I
Working
mean,
on
I'd
those two
also
things.
say an A, just because, I mean, really, there's not much he could have done better. He was 10 for 10 going into the fourth quarter.
Mhm.
He didn't, I mean, I'm sure there's some things like somebody like Haas could tell, like if he had a check down or something different or called, maybe, I don't know if he changed anything at the line. I mean, there's stuff like that that people could probably call out, but to the uninitiated like me, yeah, he had an A, without a doubt.
Yeah, it was so refreshing to see, that incremental improvement, from what we saw against USC to a complete game at UCLA. Um, and now what I have another question. How would you compare Emmett Johnson as a running back to, like, your history as a Husker fan? Who would you compare him to? Or is there a running back that you can compare him to from the Huskers?
I mean, it's weird because to me, he's a guy that, like, not to say it the right way, he just wasn't a guy that like was this highly regarded, phenomenal player.
Right.
Like, I mean, he's obviously really good. I mean, he kind of reminds me of Amir Abdullah with the ability to make something out of nothing. There's so many plays where people are flying at him and he hits 3 juke moves before he even gets out of the backfield. So that would be the more recent history type of guy. I always said kind of, and maybe it's just because he wears the same number, but I remember Derek Brown when it
Oh,
was like 90, 91 ish. He was kind of a smaller guy, but he ran strong. And a lot of times he'd almost break it, but just get tripped and things like that. But I mean, if you're talking more recent history, I'd say closer to Amir Abdullah, and he can catch the ball. Oh,
yeah,
yeah, Derek Brown. Yeah, Jerry.
Jerry, on the same wavelength. Um, Husker Chuck says, hard to compare him beyond Abdullah. Older than that is a different era.
Mm, yeah, I agree. And older than that too. I mean, I don't want to go on the old timey rant tangent, but there were so many good running backs way back before I was even watching, and then during the time that I became a fan. And yeah, I mean, shorter history, I would say Amir as well.
Okay. The reason I ask is because there's been a couple of honors given to our young lads. Let's see here. We started off with TJ. He was given co-freshman player of the week. 13 for 15, 86. That's 86.7 completion percentage. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, that's a phenomenal day for a guy that was getting his first start. Hell of a game.
Yeah. Good on him. That's exciting. I'm happy for him. And while I'm thinking about it, okay, we're just gonna go ahead and go to this comment right here.
David
because
Matney putting the cat amongst the pigeons. I
he
love it.
keeps he keeps kind of poking questions like this, and I'm reading them one after one, going, "Is it gonna stop?"
It's not until we address the elephant in the room, and the elephant is in Brent Bielema, Minnie. So we got to rip the Band-Aid off at some point. But
So, living in Omaha, David Matney says, "Before Dylan was injured, what grade would you give Dylan for the season?" You want to go ahead?
oh, it's tough because it is kind of a honestly. I think midway through his time, just the cumulative effect of getting roughed up, not knowing where the blitzes were coming from because he was just getting snowed under. It took its toll. And in that Minnesota game, I mean, he did a people in the chat will know he did a Jim Everett. There was a game where the Niners were kicking the shit out of the Rams, and Jim Everett got sacked multiple times. There was one time he just basically keeled over because he saw the pass rush coming because it was like he knew there was nothing he could do, and that was just disheartening. Not saying that Dylan's a pussy or anything like that, but it was just like he knew that he wasn't getting a chance to actually do what he needed to do.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I think that was kind of like the breaking point from the good part of the season to the second part of his season. When he was healthy, I mean, the good part of the season, I'd say B, but then you get to those couple other games where he just wasn't hitting people. And even when he did have time where he'd hold it a little long, I'd say probably, I'd push him to a C plus. So Husker
Dang.
Chuck B. Yeah, I could see a B. A
I
for
go,
attitude, definitely David Matney. I mean, he's a great ambassador for the program. Can't
he's
take that away.
he's the best. I love Dylan. I think Dylan's the reason that TJ Lateef is here. I think Dylan's the reason why most of our players are here. So,
He's recruited a lot of people. I'll give him that.
yeah. And he's given hope back into the program again. He's been
Mhm.
held to a different standard, I do believe. And I think that it's fair to give him criticism. I mean, he's willing to take it, but I think that he had been knocked around a lot. I mean, even Dana Holgerson said that in a press
Mhm.
conference. He said, "Yeah, he got knocked around a lot, and I think he was getting loopy." He said that in a press conference that is what happened during a game, okay?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, for him to say that when he said it then and just thinking about it now, it's like I'm honestly a little surprised we didn't get looked at or talked about any of the concussion protocol stuff. If he was quote unquote not loopy, like, anymore they really, really watch that stuff. I mean, I'm sure he's fine. If he would, they're not going to throw him out in harm's way. But I think Holgerson's loopy is different than like concussion loopy. Like hit so many times you don't know which end. Like where's it coming from? What's happening next? Kind of a thing. I mean, yeah, I get loopy watching the games too, Jerry. Usually with you because we're drinking. But it's like, yeah, I mean, it sucks because they didn't. Honestly, I put it on the staff too. They didn't give him a fair chance to really succeed because everything was almost tailor made to not work. Like our tackles situation is not great, but we're
Right.
putting the onus on the tackles all the time instead of
Right.
bootlegging him out. Something to give him a little space, run him to the right and let him throw. He's great at that, and we just didn't do it. We just made him be a statue and he get beat up, and yeah, it
Definitely
sucks. So
did
it's
that.
like I feel bad that he got hurt. I feel bad that some people have said, "Oh, good, now we can see the other guy." It's like that's bullshit. That's not the way we're supposed to be as fans. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. A couple people asked the question, and we can just address it if you want. It makes me loopy watching it, Matt. I can't take it myself. But I mean, that goes to the question's been out there all week, the last few days. Say TJ wins the rest of the games, bowl game included. Would we have an actual open quarterback competition in the spring? That's what a lot of people are wanting to know.
I
I would
swear.
hope so.
You Nebraska fans, what am I gonna do with you guys?
You're one
Seriously.
of us. You.
What is wrong with you? Can we
Oh,
just focus on
We only
what
got about
came
half
out of
hour,
that?
Minnie. We can't talk about what's wrong with me, let alone all the people in chat.
This is ridiculous. This is this is such a ridiculous conversation. We're talking about one game, okay? One game where everybody that played with TJ Lateef was told to give a little extra, do their job and just give a little extra.
Hmm.
And we happen to be playing against one of the worst defenses
This is
in
true.
FBS football. It just, I mean, I see why everyone gets excited because we've been wanting a game like this, needing a game like this, but truly, let's not get ahead of ourselves, okay?
It's not, but that's what we do as sports fans. We're, talking about the next shiny thing on the horizon.
No, you guys are
So
killing
are you
me.
wanting TJ to do poorly?
No, I never
Okay,
want
all right.
that.
Just making
No,
sure.
he's the next man up. I want
I
him
was
to.
gonna go down to Lincoln and tell him it's like Minnie hates you and wants Dylan back and suck
No,
it.
but I'm not going to be stalking him, okay? Not yet,
I hope
anyway.
not. Good. I know everybody, and Rostovsky was right. It's just one game. But I mean, we haven't seen a crisp offense in a Big Ten game like that in some time.
I
We
know.
looked good
It's
against Akron.
beautiful.
We looked good against Houston Christian.
Hey, trust
But
me, sitting in the stands, I'm like, I can't believe what's going on in front of me. I'm thinking, have I missed something? Am I gonna go back home and see something like, "Oh, everything actually fell apart and I just didn't notice?" I was like, "Is this like some weird trance that you get put into whenever you go into the Rose Bowl because everything's looking really good and it's
it's
hard to believe?"
California. Maybe your little California bottled wine maybe had some other substance in
Maybe.
it. But yeah,
It
I
just
mean,
it didn't really seem like it could be our team, but it was. And I
and
feel
again,
like they
UCLA is
just
not great, but they have some
yeah.
big, fast athletes. So it's still, you know, it's not exactly, some Division II school. It was a home game for them, but that was somebody asked that question, and I was wondering from your perspective, fan wise, it was way earlier. What did it look like, at least to you? Did it look like it was at least even with our fans versus theirs, or in the stadium?
Oh, this one, Vince Watson.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
What was the percentage? No, it was like I mean, it's hard to give a percentage because there were, some blue, but I'd say 80%, at
hmm,
least 80% of the stadium were Husker fans.
nice.
We were loud too. You could
Yes.
hear them again on television,
Oh,
and
tons of "Go Big Red" chants. Yeah.
oh, yeah. Yeah, I was so proud of the Husker fans that were there, and everybody was having a good time. You know who wasn't having a good time? The UCLA fans. The people behind me were UCLA fans, and oh boy, did it tick me off every time there was a first down. This guy's going, they made a first down, and then there was some play caller like on a horn every time they made a third down. Third down, as if we don't know. Okay,
Huh.
what the heck?
Yeah. I mean, that's when we get to off season, if I'm still doing the show, we can talk about road game experiences, and I can tell you about mine at Iowa State one time, and me and my friends mortally offended some people, but that's another story for another day because there were certain people that do a first down and they were loud and they were obnoxious and they thought it'd be a good idea to taunt us. And yeah, you don't do that to me and my friends. But um, yeah, so I was curious too because on TV, the angles didn't really portray it. Like it showed a lot of like one end zone that was a lot of blue and one end zone I could see, but they didn't do a lot of panning out or showing a lot of the rest of the crowd on TV. So I really couldn't tell.
Yeah. There were a ton of Husker fans. It was fan freaking tastic. There was a guy that I sat next to. So I went with my brother-in-law Ty, Connor Hayden, and his mom.
Oh,
And we had great seats. And then there was a guy that was a Husker fan who came all the way from freaking Alaska.
Wow.
I think he said that he makes it to, like, 3 games every year, and he watches the volleyball girls too. So he stays and watches them,
Yeah.
and in between, he bikes. So if you see
Hmm.
a guy named, his handle is Biking Viking. He is the coolest dude. I'm
Oh,
like, "This is what you
cool.
do on your" he takes little vacations, and he does this all over the country, and he goes by himself. What kind of a Husker fan is that? Like, it's
Mhm.
amazing. I was so, like,
Oh, cool.
enthralled. Sounds like something I would do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it's like, instead of biking, you'd be Ubering to wherever
Yeah,
Dylan's,
I'm not biking all over the
Uber
country,
Eats
but
landed, but yeah.
that was a lot of fun.
No, that's cool. Their
Yeah.
fans were otherwise fairly cordial and not,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Especially once I started yelling first down at them. I couldn't help it.
I hope those little wine bottles were at least plastic so you couldn't fashion a shiv and,
I don't care how old you are. He was annoying, okay?
Mm. No,
But
I know. I've dealt with it, believe you me.
that Nico, I am never gonna try and say his name. He is the real deal. They should be very proud to have him as their quarterback, and if they don't figure out something to do, I mean, they're not that bad of a team, but they gotta get more playmakers for him.
Well, they don't do I mean, it just for a while, it just felt like it was just it literally was a quarterback duel. We'd run TJ a couple, 3 times, and they ran him, like, every other time. It was just over and over. "Oh, it's Michigander 12-12. Hello,
Yeah.
Michigander 12-12."
2nd time I've seen him today.
Oh, yeah, and UCLA is not gonna be they're gonna be moving to that SoFi Stadium or
Oh, that's
something, I think.
right. They were thinking about doing that, yeah, which is a shame because that stadium is so beautiful.
It's cool, at least on TV. I know
Mhm.
Andy talked about it. Andy Ketterson said it was kind of a dump. Well, I don't know if they've changed it any since he was there. He was talking about, like, he was, like, going into a dungeon or something. I think he was talking about that one. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I did not get that feeling whatsoever. In fact, it was, probably one of the nicest, not necessarily the stadium, but all around it, the surroundings, one of the nicest parts of California you can imagine. Just very well manicured,
Hmm.
lush, roses, eucalyptus trees. It was beautiful, and, because UCLA is, like, really known for um, their tech, right? They,
Mhm.
like, are very, like, you have to be really smart to go there. Um, they did an amazing light show at the end where
Oh.
they did this thing with the drones, and every drone picture that they put together was a three-dimensional drone, like like a helmet, and then
Oh.
they'd spin the helmet, or they'd have, like, a player with his arm in the air catching a football, like, it was incredible what they did. It put our little drone show to shame, I hate to say it, 'cause
No.
I love our light show, you guys know how I feel about our light show, but,
Yeah.
we need to take notes from that. That was
I'd
the
rather win
only
the
thing.
I'd rather win the football game than, have a prettier drone show, and maybe they coulda spent a little time and had, the drones showing TJ going, 13 of 15 and us kicking their ass, but yeah, I mean, that's cool. I'll have to look it up on YouTube and see if they show it somewhere, but yeah, that's nice, but we're not a UCLA show,
God,
so
alright. You gotta give give 'em a little prop for something.
very little, very, very little, but yeah.
Yeah, they did good on that. And, yeah, I don't feel like it was a dungeon at all. Um, the bathrooms were fine. I mean, they're not like, new and state of the art or anything like that, but it was fine, clean. So,
And
and then
our spot on chicken shit is still chicken shit.
I
Vince
saw that. What are
Watson.
they talking about? What is
I
he
don't
talking?
know, but that line makes me laugh. I'm stealing that. Oh, I'm stealing that with like nobody's business. Vince, elaborate for Minnie. I think she's kind of confused and possibly angry with you.
Yeah.
But to go back to the thing that everybody's talked about in chat, and I know it's one game, but just projecting ahead, a serious question too. Did the offense did it or did it not look crisp and operating with purpose? We didn't punt until whatever that was, fourth quarter, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I know again, not a great UCLA team, but then John or somebody said too, somebody had said they're tired of hearing just like it was just Minnesota, it was just Northwestern. Like at some point, give a team some credit for just being out there, like it's just UCLA. It's like, and I'm one to diminish everything. I mean, me, I shit on every last thing. I'm like, oh, that team sucks and they're terrible. But it's like, it was still a Big Ten team that we looked great against with a guy that, and I also Rhule is correct. Like I'm going to debate Rhule, but he's like, they don't look at TJ like he's a kid. He was here early. He's been schooled. He's been around. So it's like, it's not like it's his first day ever.
Mhm.
So I get people need to pump the brakes and quit crowning him as whatever. But I mean, probably not in the women's restroom, David. At least I would hope not.
Yeah, that's a weird question. Why would you
No,
ask me this, David? Because,
John's a big fan of the trough. If you'd never watched some of the older shows, he'd always talk about the troughs at
oh, yeah.
Memorial Stadium. So I think I think
Well,
Matney's just trying to
they don't have those in the women's
he's
restrooms
trying to
in
act like
Memorial Stadium
he's
either.
trying to act like me in the chat, and that's
Yeah,
cool. I pass
that's
the mantle off to you, David. It's your turn right now.
yeah, he is, like, egging things on tonight. David Matney.
10 pit points for Matney.
Um, no, I get, that we should never say it's just any team, and I'm not saying that. The only thing I'm saying is let's keep in mind that we should do well against that ranking of a defense. Um, it doesn't mean
No,
that we're
we'll
gonna. It doesn't
no,
mean
we'll
that
be
we're gonna.
tested. I mean, we'll be tested against Penn State. I mean, they're in free fall with the coaching stuff and all that, but their defense is legit. And look, they damn near got Indiana, like but also Indiana was playing with, I believe, their third string guard.
Everyone's
So
injured right
there's a
now.
thing.
Yeah.
It's like, if that's true, they could play with a third string guard and still pull out that win. And we have situations where we have linemen, we're backing people up, and it's like, what are we going to do? That's neither here nor there. But that's just to say that Penn State's going to be a worthy opponent, regardless of their record or regardless of the staff and the disarray that they're going through. And I think they're using their backup quarterback now, but he's played a few games and they'll have a definitely better defense than UCLA. So
Mhm.
I'm hoping we incorporate. And Carricker had like a great thing. I don't know if anybody saw it about like incorporating the zone read and all the like it was a half-hour long thing, and like three-quarters of it was him drawing out plays and how it all works. And
Really?
yeah, check it out. It's super cool. And it
For
was
for going forward, like, was it this weekend?
he was just saying in general, if we were to
Okay.
try and do more of it and all the variations and then how the defense would act and how he used to have to defend it as a player and how it put him in difficult spots sometimes trying to like read the quarterback,
Yeah.
and he just talked about how simple it actually can be to use that, and you can get some, positive plays out of it and causes disarray for the defense. So that's the thing that I hope they kind of continue to look at a little bit. And it seems like they're definitely not afraid to let TJ do things to where he's in harm's way. They're not going to wrap him in bubble wrap. They're just playing him, we're down to the wire here. So he had a great thing talking about plays off of it and jet sweeps and all kinds of things and how
Mhm.
it's defended. So I would like to see that if we're going to go against such a much more tougher defense against Penn State, something that gives them something to think about rather than running Emmett into the stack and then dropping back and hoping to hit somebody. So it'll
Hmm.
be, I'm excited about it. I mean, I'm glad we got the week off before, and then get back. I think we have the bye this week, right?
We
Yes,
do.
it is this
We
weekend.
do.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
The thing is, we've been talking a lot about Emmett Johnson, and that guy has played a lot of football this season.
Yeah,
And
like
he
84 carries in the last 3 games
yeah,
or something.
yeah, he needs to go to the spa. He is the Big 10 Offensive Player of the Week. Finally. Good
Yes.
good on him.
I liked
28
what Rhule
carries.
did today too, really stumping for him in the press conference. I mean, I've never really seen that. Like he went on and on. I Some people might not have liked it or might not have thought it was in good taste or whatever. I thought it was great because he's like, this guy needs recognition. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
very honest about every last bit of everything to do with him. I was very impressed with that.
I love that. Um, yeah. If your coach isn't behind you, then, that's sad. But, I mean, Emmett Johnson has done so much improvement just this season. I think of, him playing against Cincinnati, just his yards after catch have just improved so
Mhm.
much. Um, he breaks tackles, he's spinning. Just I was yeah, he's just an amazing player to watch, and he's only getting better. That's what's
Yeah,
amazing about him, and
and it's
stronger, it seems.
yeah. Well, and then like Rule said too, he's so shifty, and other people said it that he doesn't always take that massive hit. So that's part of it too. Like if you're just running in a stack and getting blown up, you're gonna run out of gas. You're gonna maybe get injured. Where he's not giving people a solid target. So he's
Yeah.
always being hit just off kilter to where they're not really getting a clean shot on him. So that should hopefully continue to add to his longevity, in the last handful of games we got.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and, we have a big one coming up right after the bye, Penn State.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me because, these teams, like, who would have ever thought that UCLA would start out 4-0, or excuse me, 0-4, and
Hmm.
then fire their head coach and then get better? Like, that's just odd. And then
Yeah.
for Penn State also firing their head coach, which, I understand after what, 2 losses or 3 losses? 3 losses. They fired him and, their quarterback was out with an injury, and now they're actually doing pretty decent. They're not a
They are.
they're a
And,
good team.
it's kind of nice that, like, I'm actually, I think you said on your show last night that you wanted Penn State to beat Indiana.
Mhm.
I didn't because I didn't want them to have any last bit of momentum possible. Because if they beat Indiana, they're going to be like, yeah, we're doing something. So they lost a heartbreaker. So hopefully that just crushes their will, and they're just like, okay, we got a couple more games left. Let's get this over with. And people are going to be calling their players to poach them, and there's going to be distractions. And that's where I hope we can kind of steal that one out there in Happy Valley because that'd be a big deal. I No, we beat them out at Happy Valley when Bo was here, so we have beat them in recent history. But yeah, I want us to win that game. I wish we knew what channel and time it was going to be on. I hate when they do that lockout thing because it's so much
I know.
time between. But yeah, hopefully it's not like a night game and they do another whiteout or something like that to fuck us and make it more difficult.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I don't know, but I can tell you that Penn State is still desperate. They're
Mm,
gonna play every game like it matters. I do
yeah.
believe that.
And again, it doesn't matter what we're doing for whatever reason, people still
I do.
want to kick our ass. Like, as hapless as we have been over the last years, we get everybody's A game. I don't know how many games, and I try to watch the other team's press conferences after the fact, and I don't know how many I've ever seen where they will say something like, "Oh yeah, like our Minnesota game this year. Well, we came out flat, and we thought, people we beat, they don't really say that. They're like, "Oh, we could have done better," but everybody wants our head on a fucking pike for whatever reason, and we get their best game.
Yeah. I do like our far superior football mind than mine, Aaron Rostovsky. You didn't know I named you that, but there's an inside joke. Thank you, Pitt. Um, Aaron Rostovsky says all conference running backs don't and shouldn't come back. Their lifespan at the next level is so short. Yeah, they're the
Mm,
most injury prone position. I want to say percentage wise.
it's always been, even back in the old days, the average running back in the NFL's career was it. I think it's gotten a little bit greater because the onus isn't on the running back as much, but it used to be maybe 3.5 years for a
Yeah,
running back in the NFL. So, and Rule even said it in the press conference. He said he could go pro, and I would probably tell him, if you want to do it, do it. Like,
yeah,
get it while you can. And I have no issue with that. It's because
yeah.
what could he get nil versus what he could get in the NFL? But then where does he land in the draft? And is he going to make, I mean, he'll still make more in the NFL regardless. So it'd be great to come back. I'd love to have him back. But then it's like, what happens if he gets hurt?
That's
Then
the
his draft
thing.
stock goes down. And, it's like,
Yeah.
it's a tough call.
He's been fighting for this opportunity for years. Um, I followed his YouTube channel. I don't know if he still has it, but he used to video everything, every
Hmm.
like away game that he went to, and he put out a video when he went to Ireland, and he's just happy to be there, right? Just taking tons and tons of footage, and it's like all behind the scenes,
Hmm.
which I found fascinating because I was like, "What? You guys are going to pubs?"
No, that's
"Oh, is
cool.
this legal?" Yeah, Scott Frost was taking them to pubs, but,
Well, there, there you go. And probably ain't the only place he took him to, but
yeah.
no, going back to going back to him too. At the end of the game or after the game, you didn't see it. Well, you probably saw the interview, but they got Rule on the. We won, and they're talking to Rule, and he's like, "No, you want to talk to this guy?" And he
Yes.
grabs TJ, and then Emmett comes in, and then they're talking, and then Rule just leaves. But the just the unmitigated joy they were having talking, those two players, about how we'd won. It was like it didn't feel like some other games where it's like it's stoic and it's a business trip. They were just happy to win and they were excited. And then they crowd surfed TJ in the locker room. And
Yeah, that's so
I
cool.
mean, it's easier to crowd surf TJ because he weighs a lot less than
Stop
Dylan.
it. Stop
But
it.
I mean, otherwise, yeah, I was just, they
You
did
know
that
what
to
was
TJ
really
Fleck
neat?
too, you know.
I know. You know what's really neat is
Mm.
I stayed, um, in the stands quite a while after the game, and, just watching, everyone kind of leaving and the interviews that were going on.
Mhm.
With Emmett Johnson, his position coach, EJ Bartell, did not leave his side
Hmm.
the entire time, and I thought, that guy does not get talked enough about at
Yeah.
all. He had I mean, not only has Emmett Johnson had to stay in there and just, work really hard to get better, but obviously he was coached up by him.
Mhm.
And
He
I just
has
think
been.
that's
Yeah.
and Rule brought him with him. Rule has every faith in him to develop these guys. So, and I didn't see this. Vince Genatone played. I don't know what position he played, but I saw it on the
Oh.
stat sheet. So I don't know if he played running back, if they snuck him in on a play or something.
I didn't even
Maybe,
see that either. Yeah, they had there's some other fullback they put in. He had a strange
yeah,
name, Getchaman or something or other. I forget. And it was like,
yeah,
and Rule said he's becoming a real hammer and they're blocking and doing things. And again, a thing that in my I was talking to a cousin of mine, my cousin, friend of mine, a couple people said it with the renewed vigor in the offense. the escapability and running things quicker. We won't need to waste Lindenmeyer as another blocker to chip away at people. And I think they said it last night too on the show, Haas and Greg and Jake. So now Lindenmeyer can also become another target. We got this other dude blocking, and we got, get some more running backs in the mix. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, Lindenmeyer is an awesome guy. Heart completely for Nebraska.
Oh,
Walk
yeah.
on. This whole story is just amazing. And, thanks to Connor, I've gotten to meet his parents now a few times. Just great people. Um, I love his heart. And they're not going anywhere. These guys want to play for Nebraska. They believe that they can make it great. Like, you have players that have bought in like they have. It's pretty amazing. There's some great things that are happening in Nebraska.
Yeah. Well, and it's Rule said it today, like listening to it, it felt like it was an overall recruiting pitch to like anybody that's here that's possibly thinking of leaving, anybody that left, because he talked about people who left, and he said, I wish some of them guys wish they might have stayed. Didn't name names, but he talked about how if you stay here, you're going to get developed, you're going to build yourself up, you're going to make the league. He had the thing with Cam Jurgens and the pictures of him like through his progression of being like coming to camps as a kid and then playing here, and all that, and how we got the extension with the Eagles, and that type of thing. So it's like really today's press conference, I feel like that's one of those things he probably beamed onto every social media network possible because it was recruiting. That was all recruiting, the midpoint of it, talking about development, getting you to the league, name checking guys that he coached in the NFL. I mean, it was masterstroke. It was like,
Mhm.
it was slick. It was better than coaches we've had in the past who act like it was a bother.
Yeah. TJ will not be able to redshirt this year, but they're thinking
No.
that they're going to do the 5 for 5 anyways. So
Yeah, I'd heard some math on that where he could, I don't know. I don't get the red shirt thing and all that because it's like now it's different. You can only play a little bit and you're fine. And I don't know. And Rule said it too. He's like, he goes, people will be calling TJ
oh
after that
yeah,
game. After one game. I mean, that's the reactionary nature this is now. I mean, that's the world we live in.
you pick the
I'm hoping
bone
everybody leaves
clean.
him alone and he stays here.
That's not going to happen. You pick the bone clean. That's what every team does. Look at what happened with Cal. They developed all these players last year, and their quarterback went to Indiana. We got Isaiah Hunter from
Hmm.
them. I mean, this is exactly why these smaller schools with less money are not going to be able to compete in the long run.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's what we gotta. Oh yeah, if we go beyond 4 games with TJ playing, then he can't redshirt. And
Correct.
that's how it is. So it's like it seems it's weird because it's so late in the season. Usually guys have played, but it's like hasn't played as much. But yeah, it's I wonder if Butler and his 5 tackles and no sacks at LSU is wishing he was still here. No,
Oh,
probably because our coach is still here too, and Butler's coach is not.
my gosh.
Yeah, and some of those too are that James Williams went to Florida State. It's like kind of
Yes.
ran his mouth about us a little bit, and I don't
Yes.
know that he did anything great down there. And
No.
their coach has a foot on the banana peel as well. So it's
That's
like,
the thing you have to realize, and I think that's part of it, is if you play for Nebraska, everybody's gonna know your name. Doesn't matter if you play or not.
mm,
Doesn't matter if you're the long snapper. We will know your name because 'cause I'll make
and
sure
knee
we do.
circumference, I hear for some people as well.
I mean,
Well,
we
but
just
we at
care.
least have a foundation now. Rule's been here for 3 years. It's like we finally are coalescing at some point, and there's something to be said for that. In the old days, you can't do it like now. You can't do it like the old days now, where Osborne was here for his 25 years. Most of the guys were here, and they stayed and they stayed. That's
Mhm.
never going to happen again, and I get it. So it's like you kind of have. And Rule said it today. He goes, I don't want to be replacing coaches. I don't want to be, getting a new guy, this and that. Which also kind of broke my heart a little bit because that probably meant that was very subliminal that, the great offensive line coach that is Donovan Raiola is not going anywhere. But you got to take the bitter with the sweet. But rest assured, if our
Necessary.
offensive line does the same thing next year, you're going to be hearing the same shit out of me.
They aren't. You saw that they can actually, I mean, they can be developed. We'll
Yeah,
see
a
how
little
they
bit.
do. We'll see how they do against Penn State, okay? I get it. Every game is basically a report card. And
Mm,
we're going to report on how but our offensive line for this game, A. What would you say?
you know what? Yeah, no, I don't know. Just because I'm an asshole, I'd probably say a B minus because there were some plays where they still could have actually. There were some plays where our guys were getting pushed backwards. I'm sorry, you get pushed backwards. I see it. It's like it's a thing. I don't know. But that's nitpicking. Again, A versus B minus. You're not going to get that mad at me, Minnie. You're not going to fire me from the show. It's okay.
This is true. I love your honesty. And you
Hey,
know
that's why
what?
I'm
You
here.
look at everything as a glass half empty. So I can't blame you. B
Well,
minus, I'll take
after
that.
getting kicked in the dick since about, I don't know, 2005 or whenever that was, repeatedly, couple things of greatness, not really. We have a new person. Matt Hladkey. I probably messed it up. Never get to see the live due to work schedule. So cool to get to watch a live. Love all the shows.
Hi, Matt.
Well, welcome, Matt.
Thank you.
That was a bad pun. I'm sorry. Welcome, Mr. Matt Hladkey. But yeah, no.
And here's another one.
Oh,
I haven't seen Knights Templar around. If TJ goes
mm,
4-0, he is not staying unless you pay him a million plus. He doesn't sound like he's a Husker fan.
I'm sure he's not.
Hmm.
Um, Knights Templar. It almost sounds. I wonder if it's like Central Florida. Maybe it's Frost. Central Florida. They're the Gold Knights, or whatever they are down there. I don't pay
Oh,
attention
yeah.
to them. Probably a strip club, but that they talked about. I think Rhule talked a little bit about money in the press conference as well, just not directed at players, but like what it would cost. But I think he did say something about, or I'd heard somebody say something to the fact that TJ could possibly stay just for the fact that he wants to get developed and, still be second string if you had to, if you can't, whatever. That's a thing,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what things cost. I don't know that's where I wish they released the numbers. With the NFL, what guys get paid, the contract, all of it.
Yeah.
Here it's just this random nebulous stuff, and I think it's probably to protect, well, the player, but at some point I'd like to know,
Well,
what
you
we're
saw
spending our money on.
you saw, I'm sure everyone here saw. I didn't take a picture of it because I figured it would have been covered by now. Um, the alcohol sales, we
We're
like
number
have
one.
yeah, we're number 1 in alcohol sales. That money goes directly to the athletic department.
That's why I can complain. I am drinking a cross-strain Husker Crusher, which is part of the NIL consortium. So
There you go. This is what we need to do. See, we
yeah,
band together as Husker fans and buy all the alcohol available.
this is not a Husker beer, but it's preseason Kool-Aid, and
Mhm.
it has the rankings of how people feel by
The
the year, by the
emojis.
month.
Oh, by the month. That's so funny.
So yeah, it's local. It's Corn Coast out of Lincoln, and you could
Oh,
drink this. It's like kind of like a pineapple or something, and it's like 2%. It's like there's nothing to it. But yeah, we won the beer thing, so that was cool. Because at first they said Wisconsin won, but then I don't know, they did like a recount, and they said
yes.
we sold more beer.
Um, Now I have a sincere apology for you,
Oh,
Knights Templar. He's been a Husker fan since 1983.
oh, same as me.
Oh,
That's when I started.
Bless your heart.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. And I apologize for saying you must not be a Husker fan. You
Like
own
Jerry
that.
said, "You've been watching the last 25 years," I mean, she's been watching 10, Jerry.
I know. Forgive
She's
me.
been watching since we watched Nebraska come back and beat Purdue at Roman Coin Pizza, because that was Riley's era, and I think that was the Tanner Lee run. So Minnie's been watching about since that point, I think, give or take.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's but I can happily, like, wear the badge of the only Husker fan that has I mean, in the last 10 years, like, 10 years ago, I was probably the only Husker fan of the year that became a new
Honestly, I don't
fan.
know anybody that would have become a fan of us in the last decade. I just can't see it. Like,
I know.
because if I saw this, what we've had,
Yes.
I would have laughed at it. Like, if I was a fan of another team or if I was just like curious about college football, I would have been like, that team in red and white just kind of looks like a pile of shit. Like, I just can't get into this. Like, the quarterback gets sacked and the coach is either a madman screaming at, 10 years, it's just Riley. So Riley just looked like he's falling asleep. And then we had Frost, and it's like,
It's
yeah.
true. I mean, I have a feeling that, you know, most people, most sane people wouldn't become a Husker fan. The thing is you guys are so awesome. I wanted to join the club.
Well, kudos for that. I mean, Cornstalker number one. Yeah, probably.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Whatever you want to give me. I'm just happy to be here and happy that I get to go to these games because oh boy, did that game on Saturday night just make me so
Hey,
happy.
seeing a win in person is phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
it's great watching on TV, or it's great watching at the bar with your friends, but if you're there and you can feel the energy and feel all the other people and even the other fans, it's like you can go with the momentum swings and you feel the good and the bad, and it's exciting. So yeah, it's fun. Well, I mean, you're not from here, but it's like it's fun to go to a road game if you're not here in the, most of my games have been home games. So it's like the occasional road game, it's fun to see how the other half lives.
Yes.
Gary Pierce
Yeah.
has never been to Big Ten Media Days.
Well,
God, has
shoot, I'm
somebody on
gonna
this
write a
panel
book
been on
about
Big
it.
Ten Media Days?
You know what? Yes, and maybe I should write a book about it. Been to Big Ten Media Days. Well, and I've been to Europe. So,
Oh, we'll work on a title for next week, Minnie. It'll be okay.
yeah, but since we're talking about it, this is John's book. If you don't already own it, get
It's an
get
excellent
one.
book. You guys got to read it.
Yeah. The
John's
first
the
part
reason we're all here right now. I mean, to be perfectly honest.
yeah.
He'd probably call
Actually,
me a shit ass for saying that, but it's true. So
it's so true. Anyways, thank you so much, Fred, for being here and everybody in chat. You guys make this a lot of fun. Fred, you're the best. Is there anything
no, you're the
special you
best.
wanted to say tonight?
Yeah, and definitely just quick shout out. My cousin Donna, she's probably watching tonight, hopefully. Hope you had a good day, and we'll check in soon. But yeah, it's just fun being part of this and coming from somebody that was just literally a nuisance in the chat since about 2018. And to the point I think John wanted to actually just like ban me from everything because he kept saying, if keep talking about Scott Frost, you're gone. But he didn't. And then, you know, I met Minnie and the rest of the crew last year
Mhm.
before the Colorado game, and here we are. I am second best. I'll take that, Gary Pierce. I'll take second best.
What did Gary Pierce say? No,
He
you're the
said I'm the
best.
second best, so that's
uh
fine.
This is not true.
I don't know, second best. I don't care. I'll take anything at this point.
Okay. Well, I think you're the best, Fred. So
Well,
thank you for
thanks,
being
Minnie. I
here.
appreciate that. You're
And
the
I
best
love
too.
I love what this person said. I give full credit to our O line for the beer sales record. And on that
Yeah,
note, I guess we'll let these fine people go and enjoy their bye week, but we'll be back next Monday. So,
yeah. Can't wait. Sounds good.
yeah.
See you guys later. Go Big
Okay.
Red.
Go Big Red.